All right. Test. Test. Hello. Audio? Is there audio? All right. Maybe a little bit louder audio and we'll be good to go. Test. There we go. Oh, man. I feel like... What? What are you doing, Daniel? Don't mess that thing up, man. Okay, gotta pretend I'm not sick. 1, 2. Alright, so today we're going to be working on an 820-2610 that has no light on the charger. This is an antique. This is for an A1297 MacBook Pro, and this is from 2009. It has an MCP79, a Core 2 Duo CPU, and this has something that's very, very scary. It is a MacBook that has not just one graphics chip, it has 2 graphics chips for double the failure. So let's figure out why this thing is not giving us a light in the charger by plugging in a nice charger and seeing what happens. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to plug in the charger and see if I get a light. And I don't get a light. So let's inspect what is going on with the one-wire circuit on this board, or as I like to call it, the one-fire circuit, because the way that many people modify it when they don't have the right chips is to remove the one-wire protection using a little resistor, and yeah, it's sometimes people do that. So first thing we got to do is go and find the one-fire circuit. So we're going to go over here to the... Why is my phone vibrating? Jesus Christ. Stop that shit. You stop that. You stop that. Okay, phone's silent. So first thing we're going to do over here is check out J6900. Now J6900 is where the AC adapter goes on this board. Aaron says, I've seen you do that, Lewis. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. I've never undone the one-wire circuit. I've never undone the one-wire circuit. Don't you lie like that to my audience. We value protection circuits here at Rossman Repair Group, as well as electrical work that's completely to code. Daniel, make sure that wire to the Zelma was out of view. Electrical work that's completely to code. So this is the one-wire circuit on this board. It's a little bit more confusing in contrast to some of the older motherboards. Let me see if I can just try and walk you through this so that it makes sense to you. So first thing I got to do is get my PDF reader on the screen. My PDF reader on the... PDF reader on the... You fucking piece of shit. Come on. Come on. Oh, really? Oh, here we go. Okay. So let's go over the way this works. So we have 18 volts that's going to come in from the MacBook charger. That's going to go through this fuse. Now then it's going to go to the system. However, we need the charger's adapter sense line, which can be seen over here. Adapter sense needs to talk to this SMC on the sys1 wire line. And this transistor is a transistor that is going to work if... I forget. Crap. This is an N channel or a P channel? Much forgetting.
I always forget too.
Me too. What the fuck?
It's always a pain to look it up.
Oh man, my head hurts. Such a headache. Such a headache. Ah. Oh man.
You want to see what this MacBook is doing to keyboard cables? Look at that under microscope. Connectors. Both sides.
It looks beautiful to me. So,
Except for that blown fuse.
this... Uh-oh. All right, so this is a P-channel MOSFET, which means it will work when the voltage on the gate is lower than the voltage on the source. So in order for the voltage in the gate to be lower than the voltage in the source, what needs to happen is that this voltage divider needs to work. So this voltage divider is going to go, is a voltage divider, this is going to go to ground. Ignore the fact that this capacitor is touching itself. The Apple hired Pee Wee Herman for that day to draw the schematic, so you've got this little loop going on over here. And this resistor is also touching itself as well. However, this is supposed to go to ground. Now, this is a voltage divider, and this is going to allow the voltage on the gate over here to be lower than the voltage on the source of these two transistors, which would allow adapter sense to work. Now, how does this voltage divider work? Well, great question. First, we need 18 volts to come through here, which is going to require this transistor to open, which is only going to open if the voltage in the gate is lower than the voltage in the source, which will require this voltage divider to work, which requires this transistor to open, which requires SMC-BCACOK to be present. And even after you have Q6910 open, because the voltage divider of R6911 and R6112 allows this to open, which is only going to work if R6910 has voltage going through to Q6915 to allow it to bring this voltage divider to ground, you still need Q6915 to work so that it is not going to send one wire enable to ground. Because if it sends one wire enable to ground, this is not going to work. And that's going to be determined by U6915, which is going to send a voltage to the gate of Q6915. Long story short, let's start at the beginning of the circuit. So SMC, BCACOK, is that present? Because that's where we start this beautiful old one-wire piece of crap circuit. And yes, it is confusing. So first thing we have to do is check at U7000 around SMC, BCACOK. And we're also going to tell if all of you read my document, because if you read my document, you'll know the first thing that we need to get SMC, BCACOK. Now remember, SMC, BCACOK is going to equal charger ACOK at one point in the schematic. Here, I'll show you how we know this. So let's scroll down to pin 14 over here. And it says SMC, BCACOK. I don't hear any cleaning.
Alcohol breaks this stuff so well. Look at this.
I don't hear any cleaning. I hear talking.
This is brown.
This must be cleaning.
Cleaning.
Cleaning. All right, back to this.
Cleaning down my-
SMC, BCACOK says equals charger ACOK, which means that on the U7000 page, we can now assume that charger ACOK is what we need to come out. Now, if you read my guide, you would know that in order to get charger ACOK, you need to have AC in. If AC in is missing, you won't get charger OK. How do you figure that out when there's no data sheet? Years and years of sitting here until 3 in the morning and figuring it out. But back to this. So let's check our charger AC in. Now, what creates charger AC? The first thing we've got to do is see if our SMC BCACOK is present. So let's just check that at pin 14 on the U7000. So I'm going to turn on my multimeter software here, make sure that the multimeter is in serial RS-232 mode so that you can see it on the screen. And Paul Daniels' amazing software is going to take over for us and show you the multimeter on the screen. So let's bring ourselves over to the ISL 6258. Yes, this board is so old. This is such an antique that it uses an ISL 6258 because they didn't have ISL 6259 back then. This is too old. There's a guide. There is indeed a guide. I published it. It's a guide. It's freely available. Check it out on rossmangroup.com/boards. All right, so let's check it out and see what the voltage is on SMC BCACOK. And it seems like we've got 0.4 millivolts in SMC BCACOK, which is unacceptable. So now we're going to check a charger AC in. Let's check at pin 3 for charger AC in and see what we get. So if I check charger AC in right here, I tap the multimeter there, I get 0.2 volts. Now, ain't that something? So let's figure out how we would get charger AC in. Charger AC in is going to be created from a voltage divider. So we have PPDC in S5 charger, and that's going to be on R7010. And then there's a voltage divider that's going to turn that into around 3 or 4 volts. You have R7010 and R7011. R7011 obviously going to ground. R7010 going between 18 volts of the charger and charger ACN on the connector. So first thing we're going to do is see if that's present. And we do get 18 volts on R7010. Now, what's present on pin 2? That would be charger ACN. And what we get over there is nothing. Okay, this is interesting. So now, either the resistor is bad. It's not. It's measuring what the schematic says it's supposed to measure. Or charger ACN is shorted to ground. So now what I'm going to do is turn off. Actually, I already turned off the charger. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to measure and see if there's a short to ground there. And it appears there is. Now, what could possibly be shorted to ground on ACN? We have two choices. Behind door number 1, ISL 6258. Damn, it's a bad habit. Or behind door number 2, C7011. How do you tell which one of those two it is? Well, that's a great question. What you're going to do is you're going to remove C7011 from the board, and after you remove C7011, you're going to remove the ISL 6258 and see which one is shorted to the board. It is shorting everything to ground. So I'm just going to put 1 pawl of flux over here. All right.
2, 3, 4, 5 balls of flux, 6 balls of flux.
Okay, just a little bit of flux. I don't want to overuse it because, you know, we are trying to conserve here. You know, fight climate change and shit. Help the environment and all that good stuff. And let's remove some stuff. Why is it called ACN when there's no AC coming in? That's Apple for you. That's actually DC. This is a MacBook. There's no logic here on a MacBook. I can't see the 1 pawl of flux under the Lewis of flux. That's 1 pawl of flux. Paul is a metric unit, by the way. Hmm? Now, where would you go if you wanted an ISL 6258 from Intersil? Not, I repeat, not store.rossmangroup.com, because we don't sell chips this old that are pieces of shit that half the time won't work. Don't delay. Actually, do delay, and avoid store.rossmangroup.com today if you want an ISL 6258, because we don't sell this shit. But we do have a donor board here that I'm confident is going to work just fine. Is that square in the middle under the chip ground? Yes, it's a ground, and it acts as a heat sink here. It's going to. This board has a nice large ground plane, and it's going to act as a heat sink. That's also why it's very difficult to remove chips from MacBook boards. Very strong ground plane. Much strong. We're going to fix this little MacBook. Jeez. Damn, you can actually see there's a little outline around the chip. Look at this. Look at this. You have little L shapes around it. That's insane. It actually tells you how to align it. I feel spoiled right now. Is that 1 kilopole of flux? Yes, that is a kilopole. Hmm?
Sure looked like it.
That's a kilopole. I put enough flux to ensure that joints are properly wetted. Did Paul's bike arrive? No, it actually has. They didn't even ship it yet. Your expectations for AliExpress are far too high, Mr. Shoutery. Alright, let's see if there's still a short to ground there. Look at that shitty Samsung VRAM. Ugh, Samsung Video RAM. And 9.6 kiloohms, which means that we're probably going to have a light on this board now. MacBook. MacBook. We plug in the little MacBook. We turn on charger for little MacBook. And ooh, fancy schmancy. That's a green light on my MacBook. Now, we're going to short the power pads, SMC on off L to ground. And it's going to turn on. And it's going to turn on. And it's gonna not work. Fuck. Piece of shit ISL from a donor board. Alright, what is our PP Bus G3 hot? 0.8 volts. Great. Is there a short to ground on our PP bus? There is no short to ground on the PP bus. Which means that there's a good chance that the ISL 6258 that I took off of a donor board was dead. Or that I didn't solder it properly. But there's no way in hell I didn't solder it properly. I used a kilopole of flux. Let's take a look. Did I solder that like a noob? I did, didn't I? That's noobish. Alright. 1 megapole of flux. Nice and crooked. Is there a separate chat he reads from? Yes, there's this top secret chat. Go to goatse.cx and you'll see the special chat that I read off of. goatse.cx. It's the top secret chat for the top secret fans. That is totally ridiculously crooked, but let's see if it at least gives me a PP bus. I don't want to put the micro pencil on right now. Don't feel good. Ugh. It has a nice ground plane. It cooled down. Yeah, that's maybe our current sensing circuit. Let's check out the current sensing circuit. All right, chargers, pins 27 and 28. On the PP bus. And it looks like we're getting 20 million ohms. All right, 20 million ohms is quite a bit off from what I would expect. So between pins 27 and 28, this is our current sensing circuit. I should have 10 ohms plus 0.2 plus 10. So where are these two resistors for the current sensing circuit? Now, remember, what is current sensing? Current sensing is going to be how the machine can tell how much power the charger is using. The U7000, which controls the charger, cannot know how much power is going through the system. So what it does is it has a little resistor over here. This little shunt resistor is going to have a teeny tiny voltage drop across it based on how much amperage the system is using. The greater the amperage the system is using, the greater the voltage drop here. It's not going to be a large voltage drop. Think of it like, from 18 volts to 17.99999 kind of thing. And there's going to be a 10 ohm resistor at the top and a 10 ohm resistor at the bottom of this resistor that go to the U7000. U7000 is going to have a little comparator between pins 27 and 28. So the greater the voltage difference, the more amperage the ISL6258 will think that the charger up here is using. Now, if one of these resistors is blown, R7021 or R7022, then you're going to get a very skewed reading. So let's see where R7022 and R7021 are. There are these two resistors over here, and we're going to take a look at those two resistors and see which one is not working right. So one resistor here. This resistor is 500 kiloohms, and this resistor over here is 13 million ohms. So let's remove those two resistors, and after that we'll probably get ourselves a fan spin. Wouldn't it be nice if we had a fan spin? How do you know if the chip is correctly rotated when you place it? There's a little dot on the chip, and the board view will tell you where pin 1 is. So the dot is going to be on the side that has pin 1. Also, I remembered from when I took the chip off which way it went. That's what I usually do because I don't feel like looking it up on the board view. And sometimes it's hard to see the little dot. Sometimes it's easy, but sometimes it's hard. Come on, resistor, get the fuck out of there. Okay, chip is pushed down on the board. Bada bing. Bada boom. Now we take two 10 ohm resistors and we put them there. And this board will be great again. Well, I mean, as great as an MCP79 Core 2 Duo from 2008-9 could ever be. Which is not really that great. Not that great at all. Actually pretty crappy. Alright, we got a 10 ohm resistor on my donor, and another 10 ohm resistor on my donor. So we're going to grab those two, we're going to solder them on here. And then we're going to turn this thing on, and it's going to work again. Little MacBook. Little MacBook. Okay, wait for it to cool off a little bit. So we're just going to use our quick dry method. Dan, do you ever have a chance to water seal my battery?
Yes.
It's sealed? Crazy glue? Bada bing.
Also, the Zama screen.
Wow, the Zama was clean. Now Paul can replace touch bar CPUs for machines that have no image. What's wrong with that? Why don't you want to replace touch bar CPU? Can you show everybody your badge, by the way? Can anybody recognize what that is? Let's see if anybody can recognize what that is. Why do you use donor components? Because it's faster. And customers complain constantly. Okay, so check this out. Check this out, speaking of karma. So, somebody dropped off a machine for board repair yesterday. They dropped this computer off at 8:05 p.m., 5 minutes after we close. They called today to ask for status at 11:59 a.m., 1 minute before we open. They were kind of agitated that it wasn't done. And we got about 4 to 6 phone calls from that individual between 12 and 4 today. So it's not even that I had 1 minute to fix this machine. This person gave me, I joke with them, I said, you gave me minus 6 minutes to fix this. You showed up 5 minutes before we closed. You called 1 minute before we opened the next day. So we had minus 6 minutes to make your logic board work again. You wonder why the shit doesn't fucking post. But it's about time. All of this stuff has to be done immediately because there's a phone call after a phone call after an email after a phone call after an email after a phone call and blah, blah. So if I have to even stop to go over here to grab a book and then look through it, they're calling. No, seriously, they're calling. So I have an identical donor board. I grab, I put. We ain't got no time for that shit. And yes, for the person, that is an MCP 79 for the individual who asked, and you won. You won our grand prize of 44,000 shares of AGRX. So, which is some worthless shit. All right, let's see if this works now. Hey, fan spin! We got a Pepe bus. We got a PP bus G3 high. So that's it for today, and as always, I hope that you learned something. Now I can stop the video and go back to being sick and stop pretending that I'm excited because I'm not. I want to die. I want to roll into my bed and sneeze and cough and puke and ugh. Yeah. Yeah, I have to ride my bike and that to go home to my bed.
You want to show them what the weather looks like?
They can't see what the weather looks like. There's nothing that's going to point out just how shitty it looks outside. Listen to those fans. Oh, man. Sleepy. Not that clever.
You stay here all night to troubleshoot touch wise.
You giving me incentive to go home. What happened to your arm? What, this? Oh, Daniel, you want to help me creak them out?
Sure.
Check. Okay, you want to see what my arm looks like under a microscope? This would be a fun way to creep out the stream. All right, that's me. Daniel, can you adjust focus?
Yes.
Let's see. Wait. Yeah. Let's. I'll just upload this as a video. Okay. I have to move my arm a little to. Hey, stop adjusting focus. I'm gonna just move the hold on my arm in a view. All right. This is what happens when a cab driver opens his door on a bike lane in New York City. All right. Get that in focus, Daniel.
I would if it wasn't already.
That's not the hole. That's like the outside of the hole.
There you go.
That's me. That's me, baby. You are corroded. Yes. I am very... What did you do?
Twisted.
Yeah, I'll get it back. I should make this my new channel logo.
Oops.
That's my arm, baby. Can you adjust the exposure there so you get a nice picture?
Yeah,
Oh, there you go. That's some meat. Uh-huh. Is that gravel in there? I think I see gravel. Do you see gravel from the road?
no.
Oh, what's that? If you zoom in, like right where I have my mouse cursor. What's this? Is that gravel? That looks like gravel. There's some pubes in there too. Oh God.
Looks like metal.
Oh. Jesus. That's me. I want to throw up, and that's me. That's me. Yeah.
Ultrasonic.
I need a new one. I need not repair. Is there a donor board? Yeah, I need a donor arm.
You need an ultrasonic back.
Put your arm in the crest. Yeah, Branson EC. That's great. 9-gallon ultrasonic. Lewis is
Ultrasonicing it without the Brent spitter.
looks 3 to 4 days old, but not infected. Yeah, show us the crust. They're raging. Look at Lewis with this shit. I came home to farm from this shit. Tear off scab. Ugh, God. Hell's wrong with you all?
Please stop.
Shredded beat. It's Brian from the shop that sent you a A1706. Why'd you send me a touch bar, man? Why would you send me that miserable shit? Oh.
That's why we have that done.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a dead CPU. Half of those are dead CPU. Anyway, I'm sick. I'm done. See you later. Fixed a few boards. We fixed an antique ISL 6258 with the traditional one-fire circuit today. I don't know if any of you were watching, but it was pretty cool to fix this thing. I miss the old one-fire circuit. I miss this old piece of crap one-fire circuit. Did you ever work on one of these old ones, Daniel? Look at that old one-fire.
The machine's on.
All right, time to get out of here.